All right, what's up, boys? So, some of you went on the last hike, the 14ers. This video is going to be for our Wyoming hike, a little bit of a different deal. Um, actually backpacking. So, Doug and I are going to kind of go through maybe differences between this and the 14er hike, what to kind of expect. We'll go through some gear stuff. There's different gear that we're going to use. Some of it's going to be community gear. And so our thought is, basically pair up with a buddy and then figure out between the two of you who's going to get what, and then you share the carry load. So keeps the weight down. You don't want to be doubling up where everybody's got the same thing. And then we'll go through just some differences in gear that you will need that's not community gear. So that's the 30,000 foot overview. And yes, give us a start, like what you're thinking.
Yeah, so what's up, guys? You guys have seen on the text, we're talking about flying on September 12th, Saturday. If anybody wants to, if you haven't been to Jackson, it's a really cool town. Some of you have been there. I'm thinking about going out on Friday, September 11th. Getting there a little bit earlier. There's a couple flight options, but good way to spend a Saturday and not have to travel. What do you think about Jackson?
Yeah, I love Jackson. And at some point when we get out there, usually we got to do some gearing up anyway, right? Kind of like what we did in Colorado. Stop by Walmart or a different store, pick up, some food, some snacks, that kind of thing. So we have to allow time for that, whether we fly in on Saturday or Friday. So, I haven't dialed it in on whether I'm flying in on Friday or not, but it's a possibility. There's a late afternoon flight, which helps. Grab a hotel that night, get the gear up Saturday morning, and then we're ready to hit, launch first thing Sunday morning. If we fly in Saturday, it's the same deal, right? We got to gear up. We got a little bit of a shorter time frame, so we'll dial in on that. Throw out some flight options, try to figure out how everybody's going to go. But great town, great place to hang out.
It's a nice option to have to get there a day early. So some of us may be going a little bit early. If you want to consider that when we get the flights around. As far as the hike itself, it's an amazing hike. If you haven't been to the Tetons, I have done it now 6 or 7 times. So if you're looking at, if you want to research it a little bit, look for the Teton Crest Trail. There's a couple different options on the Teton Crest. The first thing I'd say is the reason I love this hike is it's great for first timers. The way the Tetons are set up is we're hiking along the spine of the mountains, but there's a number of different canyons. So if anything goes south, if we get weathered out, guys get hurt, you're uncomfortable, we would all make fun of you for being weak, but
we definitely make fun of you.
Yes. But you're able to get off the mountain in about 4 hours on any given day. Total hike is about 30 to 35 miles. And from an elevation perspective, what's really cool is you take a ski tram to the top of the mountain. So net gain and loss in elevation on this is about 4,000 feet. So you don't have to pick that up. We get off at about 10.5, and the passes are all around 10,005, 10,007. So it's a really nice, gentle, rolling hike at elevation. You did that for the first time. How would it compare to like Colorado?
Yeah, so I thought it was a lot nicer than Colorado. Love Colorado, but it's horrible going uphill for 6 hours with no relief. So I really like the idea of it was uphill, it was downhill. So you really got a change in elevation and just was a lot nicer to get that break. And there's even some flat spots, which is a home run. And then another big difference I thought between Wyoming and Colorado, just the expansiveness of it. So just a really, really cool hike to be able to just see forever. I mean, I think we saw in Idaho a couple of times, very, very cool. But yeah, just from an experience standpoint, much more enjoyable, I would say. Less of that grind that we experienced going up and down those 14ers.
Yeah. Any given day, there's a short day in there, but it's worth it to camp in Alaska Basin. It's about 4 miles. 7 mile day, 8 mile day, probably a 12 mile day to wrap. But again, I think if you can do Colorado, if you've done Colorado, this is going to be it's going to be very comfortable. Couple things we'll talk about with gear, but we are camping above elevation. or I'm sorry, above the tree line, the entire hike.
Yeah. So no hammocks.
So no hammocks.
It's all tents.
So we'll talk about that with the gear. Why September? The weather is amazing for backpacking out in Wyoming. Typically, you're looking in the 20s at night, 50 to 60s during the day. September is the driest month of the year, so the probability of catching amazingly great weather with fall colors is pretty high.
Yeah.
There's no bugs, the crowds are down, so that's why we're looking at September. The one thing to know about September is you're in the Northern Rockies, so the weather can turn fast. Don't know what we're gonna get. We got the best chance of success, but we'll be paying attention to the weather the week or two before to kind of see what's coming. Hard freezes, snow on this trip. I've been up there mid-September and been in 2 inches of snow at night. But that's all right. It's always gone in a day.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the big difference. Is we ran into obviously some rain in Colorado. Here it's going to be snow, right? I mean, it's going to be cold enough that's what the unknown is, and we'll get a better feel for that, I think, as it gets closer. But just something to be aware of.
Yeah, we'll get frost at night probably. So as far as gear goes, Josh already mentioned it. Hammocks are just not really practical. You could probably pull it off, but it's just going to be better to have tents. So one of the things on gear, as Josh mentioned, is, and this is different from the Colorado stuff that we've done, where we've come off the mountain, we've been at the car, we can resupply. This is 4 days, 3 nights. We're carrying everything. Some of you may have done some of that before, others haven't. So everything that we are needing on this hike, we are carrying on our back. Because of that, every step you're carrying whatever's on your back. So as far as community gear goes, it's going to be important that not everybody take their own jet boil, not everybody take their own tent. We're gonna need to buddy up. So
it's just I guess for clarification, if you haven't figured it out, we'll hike to campsite 1 for night 1, stay there, pack up the next morning, hike to campsite 2, pack up, hike to campsite 3, and then hike out on that day 4. So we're not coming back to any type of home base at any point. So first thing of community gear is going to be your tent. This is the same one that I recommended in the 14er hike, but this MSR is a 3-man, which really means two people. So recommend getting together with somebody and either borrowing a tent that you can share with another person, or buying one that you can share with another person. So the idea is we are giving you guys enough heads up that you can hit all the sales between REI and Amazon and everything else. But the MSR is really good, and then make sure that you have the pad that goes underneath it. I guess not really a pad, more of the tarp that goes underneath it. So first piece of that community gear is your tent.
Well, as you can see here, we already have 2, right? So for the other 6 to 8 guys that are going, we probably only need another 2 to 3 tents. So it's going to be important that we coordinate that. I think you mentioned putting together a checklist or a sign-up sheet, if you will. So if somebody's looking at this, what's nice about backpacking, if you haven't done it before, is once you gear up one time, and it's an upfront cost, but you pretty much have it for the next 10 to 15 years.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in buying a tent, tell somebody that might not be doing this consistently, so that not everybody runs out and gets one.
Yeah, so if you don't want to share, if you don't want to buddy up, that's fine. It just means you got to carry all of your tent. Like, I like the idea of somebody taking the poles and the mat, and then somebody else taking the tent piece, and just splitting up as much as you can. So that's number 1. And most of you guys know, right? Like, best place I think to get gear is probably REI. Get your membership, and then you can figure out whether it's good gear or not, or whether you need to return it or not, or whether you love it or not. But that's a great place. You can learn a lot. But then obviously you got your Sierra trading companies, you got Amazon, you got Dick's, you got all these other places. So next piece of community gear, your jet boil, and you guys saw how we use these out in Colorado. You're gonna have your jet boil, you're gonna have your fuel, and again, if you can partner up with somebody, splitting this type of stuff up, just share it saves you weight. And
it saves everybody weight, because I'm not having to carry my own, right?
Yeah.
Probably 1 jet boil to every 3 guys would do it. The only downside to doing it every 3 or 4, we could actually have 1, but everybody's waiting to eat.
Yeah.
So it's good to have a couple of those, especially for backup. I'm imagining one every 2 to 3 guys.
Yeah, I would say, look, between coffee, meals, I think we target one per every 2 guys.
Yeah.
I think that minimizes the waiting. And with a group, I think we're 8 or 9 guys right now. So, like, again, we've at least got 2. I know some of you guys have one. So just, I think you kind of pick a hiking buddy and just say, hey, what do you have? What do I have? Let's make sure we're only bringing one of that. Next thing, go ahead, talk about the water filter.
Yeah, the third thing that we're gonna need, I have one, is a water filter. So again, unlike Colorado where we buy, I think 7 or 8 cases of water.
Yeah.
We're not carrying that much with
This is what you carry your water in. 2 of these. That's
Yeah.
it. And real kind of a side tangent. So what are these? These are 32 ounce.
Yeah.
Yeah. These are 2 32 ounce. This is what you want. Only get this. You'll see things like this out there.
They're not good.
Why are they not good, Doug?
Because you have one.
The real reason, other than that, is that this water filter fits right on top of these, right? Don't have to hold it in there. Whereas on this one, it's smaller. So
Get your hands wet.
Yeah, you got to hold it. You got to get your hands wet. It's frustrating. So
It's not that the hands getting wet's a problem. It's that when it's 20 degrees and you get your hands wet for 10 minutes, you get really mad at your friends.
So look.
We know.
32 ounce, get these. Get 2 of them. That's all you need, because we fill up with water along the way, right? So we're filling up with streams. We're filling up from pond, lakes. Yeah, it's we're not carrying water in our pack other than this. 64 ounces. It's more than enough. You'll be fine. We'll have enough places to refill, but 32 ounce bottles. All right.
So what we need here, if you can't see that, is a water filter. I've been carrying this Katahdin Hiker Pro for 20 years. It's never let me down. I've never gotten sick. It has 2 hoses. One goes into the water source, another goes into your bottle. It'll fill up a liter in under a minute. So between 10 guys, we've got 20 liters. So if we don't have more than one, it's going to take 20 minutes every time. So we probably need somebody to pick up another 1 to 2 of those, I think would be sufficient. They don't weigh very much. They sell these at REI. Filters are replaceable. It's a great system. Again, I've never gotten sick off of it, so I trust it.
Yeah, so I'll plan on picking up one, but just out in the chat there, see if somebody else, one of you guys should have one as well. So I think if we get 3, then every water fill up's going to be quick, and that's nice. It's convenient.
Yeah. Last thing, guys, we're in Teton National Park, Northern Rockies, in September. What that means is wildlife is active. In the Tetons, I've seen the black bear in the wild. Never had an encounter, but they'll be moving, especially where we're going to be hiking. If anybody has any concerns about bears, voice them. I don't think you need a weapon. I think bear spray is enough. Anytime there's any kind of an issue with a bear, it has to do with food. So our food is unprotected. There are a handful of places to hang. There's no permanent metal boxes in the backcountry that I've seen in the Tetons. So what we do is we store all of our food in a bear canister. This is really hard for bears and people to get the lid off of. Josh still hasn't figured it out. So
it's a myth. I don't think it works.
This goes in the bag. It's extra weight. It's a real pain. Honestly, it weighs probably 2 or 3 pounds that I'd rather not carry. However, all food, anything, toothpaste, food discipline, smell discipline is important in bear country. I've been hiking there for 25 years, never had issues with bears, but that's going to be important. It's going to keep the mice out. It's going to keep the deer away. We store this away from the tent so that if a bear does come, they're not coming into your tent. They don't care about you. They care about the food. So food goes in there. We can usually get 2 to 3 guys' food for this trip in one. 4 would be pushing it. So I think we're going to need 2 more of those bear canisters. The national park will provide them for you. They'll demand it. You don't have an option of carrying it. Theirs just aren't as big and they're heavier. So from a weight saving perspective, this is pretty good. The website that you can go buy one of these and let us know if you do. I don't know if you can see that. It's bearvault.com. This thing's awesome, especially if you're going to be hiking bear country in the future. You're going to want one.
So like, what size is this one? Does it give you a size so you know. Because I'm guessing they sell various sizes.
I'm not sure. That looks to be probably 5 gallons would be my guess. Something like that.
So yeah, again, I'll try to pick one up, but I think we probably need at least one more. So, and it's not just food that will go in this, but we have to pack out all of our trash, right? So you got wrappers, you got food, empty food pouches from your, I call them MREs, but that's not what they are, obviously. But we got to pack this stuff out, and it's got smell, so it's the same thing. So ideally, as we consolidate as we're hiking, maybe one of them just is trash, for example, but we got to use the same discipline that we use with food and keep it up and keep it away from camp. So, right, just like I said, if somebody's gonna grab one, just throw it in the chat so we know, okay, we've got 3 at least between Doug's, I'll pick one up, and then at least one more. And then if more guys jump on this trip, then, we'll have to figure that out and get some more.
So that's really about it. As far as the community gear, we're gonna do a separate video with individual gear. But those are the core components. You're gonna need sleeping bags. Oh, the last thing that everybody's gonna need, I think it's good for this video, is if you don't have one already, you're gonna need something to carry all this stuff in.
Yep, pack time.
Yeah, so you're looking at backpacks. They've made these amazingly comfortable. Josh has done this trip with this pack already, and it is a 65 liter. It says 65 right on the bag. I have an 80 liter because I usually carry most of my dad's stuff while he carries all his camera gear. So, but that's a different discussion.
Yeah, Ray and I both used this last time. It's this Atmos AG65. Great pack. I wouldn't go any smaller. You could go bigger. Everything we need
Can get in there.
Can get in here. And the idea being that between community gear and frankly just packing light, that was a really comfortable pack to take with me. Now, when you buy this type of pack, for my money, especially if you're a first timer, you go to REI, they're gonna fit you. Like, you got to go back and say, hey, I'm going on a 40-mile hike in Wyoming. I need a pack. I was told I should get a 65 liter or bigger. Can you help me try on packs? And they'll fit it to you, your height, your size. It's really, really important because you don't want to be picking this up the night before we fly out.
No, and I'll say this about it too. They're mostly built the same. They all have a lot of pockets, and they carry stuff. But as far as comfort on this hike, it doesn't matter really for brand. They're all pretty good. The most important thing is going to be fit because you're going to be carrying this on your hips and shoulders for about 40 miles. So Josh, me, we're tall, we have longer spines. That means different packs. Go to REI, get yourself fitted. We're doing this early enough in the year so that, like Josh said, you can go in, pay attention to sales, get yourself set up, and we'd be happy to meet you there and walk through kind of a gear list with you. I have a gear list. We'll get that out to everybody.
Yeah. See anything else that matters?
No. The last thing I'll say is because of the weather, this is 3-season gear. We're going to be paying attention, like I said, the last week or two before we go out to kind of see where the weather patterns are. But you're probably going to want at least your puffy coat, a rain shell. The rain shell will be good just for any kind of, obviously, rain, but it can get windy in those passes. You guys have been in Colorado, you know what that's all about. So, anything else?
I think that's it. It's going to be fun. So, all right, see you boys.
See you guys.